close. Hello everyone. So far it shows no viewers, so I'll just take a moment to go through this and talk about the event that we're at. Jason, have one viewer. Jason, are you with me? 2, 3 viewers. All right, we'll go ahead and get this cracking. I'm gonna change the view here. Hopefully you can hear me. Jason, if you notice any technical difficulties or if you cannot hear me, please let me know. Jason just verified that he can hear me. So, we are here at the Arts Festival in Salt Lake City. It's the Utah Arts Festival. It's a very big event. It's a 4-day event. Thousands and thousands of people will come to this event. And one of the things that has been requested, that we would allow you to shadow an event. So we may even do this a little more rather than on a scheduled event. Watch for alerts, because I may come back here while it's busy so you can see what it's like to be slammed and how to deal with that. We'll talk about quite a bit of that right now, but obviously the event is just starting, so I don't have, so there's obviously not lines and things like that. But we'll go through and look at the setup, how we have everything set up for a large event, how we're stocked for that. That's a big question as well. But before we get started, you guys have the ability to ask questions. I have Lyle and Jason for a moment, to be able to view questions. And the way that you do that is if you submit it either through Twitter or through Facebook, and you also have the ability to do it through what's called Social Stream, but I believe you have to have a Ustream account in order to do that. So if you are doing Twitter, you will want to hashtag Snowie Live, SNOWIE Live, and that will post your question on the live page where everybody is viewing it. And Lyle will be able to respond there in a text form, and then if they want me to address something while I am here live, I will do that as well. So, let me go through and kind of get started. One thing that I wanted to touch on real quick before I move on is I came here early today while we were setting up the kiosk. I was able to do that and fit everything within the time frame that we have to be able to do this broadcast. So I pre-recorded that, and I don't have that available to show now, and I don't have a computer where I can control that from here and post that up for you guys all to watch. So what I'm going to do is in a couple days, I'll probably actually do it about Tuesday of next week, I'll host another webinar. I won't do it as a regular webinar because it'll kind of be a repeat on today. And I will have that recorded segment, so it'll be all high definition video, and we'll create a question and answer segment right there as well. So while we're watching the video, we can pause it, all watch it together and pause it and talk about some different things about the setup and how we plan on doing different things if you didn't get it addressed here today. And again, the video will be much cleaner, much better. So let's go ahead and get started talking about the kiosk. So the kiosk is 8 feet by 5 feet, and we have what's called a flavor station. And many of you are aware of what a flavor station is. Some of you might not be, so I'm going to briefly go through that. It holds 2.5-gallon jugs. This one specifically holds 10 flavors, and it allows customers to be able to receive their shaved ice in the stand, and then to be able to come out and fill their own at our flavor station. These are huge. We've kind of done some numbers, and we've talked about these in webinars in the past, and one way to look at it is for every $25, and the reason I bring this up is because waste seems to be a big concern on everybody's mind. That's what initially comes to mind, is that they're going to waste flavor by using a flavor station rather than pouring it on your own. But you gain so much in speed that one way to look at it is for every $25 you feel like you are throwing away in flavor, you have sacrificed $400 in sales. Lyle, if I don't have that figure right, you can correct me. Lyle's our numbers guy. But it's a very, very big deal to have a flavor station. As you can tell, this isn't our normal look and feel. This is a kiosk and flavor station that we have branded to our natural flavors. So in order to get into this arts festival, we actually had to do everything with our naturals. We couldn't even mix them. They wanted everything to be part of our naturals. And as you can tell, we have a lot of branding, a lot of things that are changing, and we have new menus and stuff for our regular line as well. But you can see like new menu boards. This is a magnetic board. And we'll be making these for the regular Snowy look and feel with all of our regular flavors and the regular look. And this is kind of a cool thing too. As you know, or as many of you may know, you can make every one of our flavors sugar-free just by using our product that's called Sweet Thickener. And so you can choose one flavor and either put that in a 2.5-gallon jug out here on your flavor station, or you could just have a pint that you have up here on the counter, and you can declare that one is sugar-free. I think that worked better on top. So if their flavor of the day that was sugar-free was grapevine, they can just put that up there, and then people can know that they can get sugar-free, and you can direct them to that if they ask if you have sugar-free. Anyway, good-looking menu sign, and we have those coming again with the regular look as well. If you notice the pricing, all of these are pretty slick. These are fun names. It actually starts with there's like 5 different sizes. It's like mini, smallish. I think it was big, pretty big, and ginormous, something like that. But anyway, it's fun stuff. So going back to natural, if you don't know the difference, so all of our natural line is made from natural sources. So all of the flavor, all of the color is made from natural sources. Whereas all of our regular flavors are what we call artificial. They are all flavored from artificial sources. And some of them are actually natural, but we just don't declare them that. They're just kind of regular flavor. And so normally if you're offering both, I know Lyle, and he may address it too, sometimes Lyle will have both. And I shouldn't say just Lyle, there's quite a few people that will have like a natural flavor station and a regular flavor station where they would both be different. And sometimes if you weren't doing that, if you were pouring it on your own, you can charge a premium in order for them to have a natural version of the flavor. Another thing that we do is called flower cups. We'll actually catch this girl in action shaving. But she has, oh, they haven't put a block in. This will be good for you guys to see because we have a newer version of the block. Of Kelly loading it.
Sorry, not plugged in yet. There we go. Please do me a favor.
So she just flipped this switch up to load. And that raised the foot. Then she comes down and she adds a little pressure to that, drops it. And now this is a new feature we have right here where she's winding that in. And it's adding pressure. You can see the plastic curve going against that block. We used to have some pressure flaps where it was really hard to close the face of that. You'll see in some of our videos we have to slam that door shut to get it past the pressure flaps. And then they were also short, and when the block would pass one of those pressure flaps, the block sometimes would break free and just spin with the blade. So obviously that didn't work. So this was our new solution. We have a surface that runs the full length of the block and really holds that thing stable. It's slick.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's a good little feature on the block. I don't know if you paid attention to how fast that was either. Normally for you to get snow from a block shaver, it would take a lot longer than what we just witnessed there. And he's holding what's called a flower cup. And so Callie today, all she's selling is flower cups. And I apologize for some of the clutter, they're still getting ready. But so she has 2 different sizes. It's a 4 ounce and an 8 ounce. So I'll grab an 8 ounce here. This cup is plastic, it's recyclable, and they wanted an item that was recyclable and good for the environment, and plastic passed the test. So this was a very nice cup to have, and Snowie sells these cups. But that flower cup, a lot of times people will sell both. That's why we made the attachment with a magnet. When you pull, I'm going to walk around here. Oh, there's a fence there. With this flower cup attachment, this is what allows you to be able to put the ball on top of that flower cup and be able to pet that top. We made it magnetic for a reason, because you could transition back to a regular cup and use that and charge, say, like $2, $3, and $4, and then you could throw this in, make a flower cup, and you could charge another extra $1 for a flower cup if you wanted to do that. That was, did I say, I thought I did say that right. Lyle's just correcting me. This is a 4 ounce, and this is an 8 ounce cup. Yeah, so that's our block. Now, one thing I wanted to do, let's see if I can get them to participate here, is one question that we have is how much space is in the kiosk. And people worry that it's confining, and we actually have quite frequently people will have 3 people in there, because one shaver can keep up with 2 people selling. So taking money is your bottleneck. The faster you can take money, obviously the better your day is going to go. That shaver will easily keep up with 2 people who are consistently shaving and selling. And hopefully we get some customers here, and we'll kind of just hop in there as they make more and more. And when they hop in there, I'll have both of them hop in, and you can see how much room they have. Another thing that we have done is, and we are going to be changing these labels on regular. We've done a lot of changes and new things with the natural that we're now migrating into our regular line. So if you see here, Callie she's lined this with a strip of Velcro, and then she goes through and puts the flavors on each one. So if she wanted to change these from event to event, or use some artificial, some regular, she's able to do that and change them very quickly, rather than peeling a decal off of your flavor station. And you know, it's not even that easy. You got to peel a decal off of every side. So on the flavor station, going back to that too, we have flavors that are served off of 3 sides. So there's 1 jug for every flavor. Again, this is a 10 flavor station, and so we have 10 spigots here, and then another 10, and then another 10 on the other side. So it's the same flavor served off of 3 sides. It really allows people to line up. Now this event, again, going back to it, and those of you who are just joining us, this is a very, very big event. It's 4 days long, and there are literally thousands and thousands of people. In fact, I'm hoping that I can get an accurate number on how many people come, so I can tell you that. But I'll show you how Callie has prepared. A lot of people wonder, okay, how much ice do I need to bring, and how much flavor should I bring to an event to make sure that I'm prepared? Well, these are all block ice, so we're using this whole section of this merchandiser. And we have a lot of ice, and this will actually be restocked for this event. That is not enough ice for us at this event. We will burn through that. But what we've done here is that on the flavors, these are all in a concentrate form. When you buy from us, you get a concentrate bottle like this, and it has a measurement of 16 ounces. And the way that Callie's doing it, what I normally do, and Lyle has changed this too, Lyle's actually moved, Callie's using 1-gallon jugs. So she will make a flavor by pouring 4 ounces of this concentrate into a 1-gallon jug, like she's doing here. So this jug started out with 4 ounces of concentrate, and now she's topping it off with sugar water. So this allows her to stay stocked on her flavors quickly. And so she's topping that off. And then she'll carry that gallon over to the flavor station. And rather than disassembling the flavor station, she just uses that 1 gallon jug to pour into here. Now you can either pre-make flavors in 1 gallon like she's doing here. You can make them in the 2.5 gallon jugs like those that are in the flavor station and use those to pour in. Or you can use a large 5 gallon jug with your pre-made flavor in it and do the same thing that she's doing here. That's actually how I do it, but it does usually take someone a bit stronger to be able to lift a 5 gallon jug on top of this flavor station to be able to refill it. So they've done this for ease. They're able to just fill a gallon at a time and go over and top off flavors. It's really slick. A lot of people, they have the gut reaction that they want to disassemble this and take a jug out, go fill it, and then bring it back. So they got to like take the top off, go over, refill it, put it back on the flavor station. There's no need for that. That's why we put the lids exposed, and you can hurry and go through and fill each and every one of these. And as you can tell, so I do want, well, let me go back in here. Do you mind hopping in the kiosk with Callie real quick? So I want to show Callie the room in the kiosk, how much room there is. I'm going to have her hop in there with you. So you can see that 2 people is very comfortable. So normally what will happen is one will be shaving, standing in front of the shaver. Will you stand in front of the shaver? So she's standing in front of the shaver, and then Callie has all of this room to be able to serve. And you would be able to actually throw a 3rd person in here. And I have another video of Gordon and Bronco and Carl all in there. And it's surprising how much room they have. It really is not confining at all. We get that question quite a bit. You know, we have a lot of pictures, a lot of video that shows people in it and shows different space, but I figured we would address it and let people see how much room they actually have within the kiosk. So going back to stocking the event, so she brought plenty of concentrate. She actually brought a pint of each concentrate. So each one of these will make 4 gallons of flavor. Another way to look at it is it will make 16 32-ounce bottles, 16 32-ounce bottles, or it will make another 32 pints. So that concentrate goes a long ways. And then she also, to make sure she wasn't out, she brought concentrate, more concentrate, a gallon of concentrate to refill these bottles. So she is like really, really prepared. She is not, the last thing she'll ever do right now is run out of flavor. Now the good thing with shaved ice is you can show up prepared like that and not have to worry about it because your flavors will not expire. I mean, not at the event and not within a year. Your concentrate is good for 3 years. Now once you make your sugar water, and we have instructions on how to do that, and we sell a preservative kit. So all of this sugar water has also been preserved for 1 year. And you always want to do that. I mean, there's a lot of people that they would rather not use a preservative, and that's fine, but their sugar water will go bad within a week or 2. So we always encourage people to preserve your sugar water, and that way you know that it's going to stay fresh and it will be good for your next event. Like let's say she planned on doing this event and for some bizarre reason nobody showed today. Well, you would think in any other normal scenario where you're out running a business, you would be like, oh man, I just made all of this stuff to be able to be prepared for this event, and now I'm going to eat it. I got to take all this stuff home, and a lot of it I have to throw away. You do not have any waste. All of that ice is salvageable. You can put it in another freezer. You can keep that, hold on to it. All of that concentrate is good for 3 years. The sugar water that you've already made is good for a year. So you have, you don't need to worry about overstocking. I mean, the last thing you want to do is show up without that stuff and run out. The worst thing you can do is run out of ice. At least with some flavors, if you did run out of some, people are pretty good about just going to the next option that they want and going that route. But it's obviously it's better to not run out. So always stay overstocked. So wanted to point out here. So normally this is how we do it. We'll put all of our large 5-gallon head packs, is what we call them. And Kelly does what's called blanks. So in here she has what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5-gallon jugs. She's already gone through one. There's now empty, and then another one here, and then she has an additional 10 that are sitting on this pallet. Kelly is not going to run out of flavor. She has a lot. Now many of us, Gordon and Lyle, myself, a lot of times we'll make these 5-gallon head packs already in the pre-made flavor, so we don't have to worry about mixing. We just show up with that jug that's already mixed, we throw it on top of our flavor station, and we're restocked that fast. We don't have any of the steps in between. But we also do 6 flavors, we don't do 10, and we're not doing multiple flavor stations normally. So this way, she knows that she can use any portion of the sugar water that she has made for any flavor. So it's wise the way that she is doing it. But you don't necessarily have to go that route. I think I've gone through it pretty quick. I hope I didn't rush it. We're sitting at about 21 minutes. We'll open it up for questions here in just a second, but I do want to point out, again, remember that there's going to be a high definition video that'll be better quality than this, and you'll be able to see the setup and how we put all these things in place. But just taking a look at this, it's an eye catcher. It's from anywhere on the street. This is kind of a food alley, so anywhere on this street you're able to see where Snowie is. And it's kind of fun to get a shot that's far away because you'll always see Snowie with the windsock. And it's a great place. We always hear people come up to us and say, man, meet at the Snowie, because there's a big yellow beacon that's a meeting spot for people. So it grabs attention. We do a few things to try and get people to our stand. One is that sign that hangs off the front. This event's a little bit different, but usually you would have another stand sitting side by side each of these. So if I was a consumer, I'd be walking along and I wouldn't see anything along that except that. So one is that sign hangs out the front, and that sign also has a mister hanging off the face of it. So if it gets really hot out here, you turn a mister on, it'll mist your crowd while they're in line. Now the other thing that we do serves 2 purposes, and that's that flavor station. That thing, some events won't let you be that far out, but this is huge. I mean, anybody walking by, they're basically like walking right into those flavor stations. It draws attention. And adults, you'll be shocked how many adults are like, whoa, you get to make your own, and they hop in line along with the kids. So it's an eye catcher, and it really gets people to notice your stand. As much as you can push your way out into the crowd, that's a big deal. I wanted to, in comparison, I want to come over here and show you what it's like to look down that line and why we do it. I won't walk the full length and delay it any further. But see, when you're walking along, this is even a little hard to tell because I'm right by people. But nobody has anything really popping out in front to promote. There's some signage for the event. That's not for a stand. These guys have popped a little thing out here, their menu boards and that. It's nice, but we always try to push our way out as much as we can. Now, another feature that Lyle asked me to bring up was the lighting on the flavor station. These do not have it. Kelly did not do it on these naturals, but we do have lighting options now, and where you can light these up at night. It'll have LED lights that are there. It's pretty cool. We have some photos of that online. You want to check that out? The other new thing that we've done here on the new flavor station is you'll notice this step. Let me get a different angle here. The step coming off of the spigots is so that you can use a flavor station, or sorry, so you can use a flower cup. On the regular flavor stations, it's hard to get a flower cup under that spigot, and so we've modified our flavor stations now so they have a step so that you can fit a flower cup easily underneath that. So lighting is really cool on those. Obviously we're in the daylight, so you don't get to see the lights. You actually have some puck lights. The stand is beautiful at night, and I'll probably come back and get some shots. And we have a light here on the tip. So here's your misting tip. This will mist your crowd, and this is a light that you can direct back towards your building so you can light up the face of the base. This whole top up here is backlit, so this is like lit signage for you all the way around. All of that lights up. Whereas the base all has an aluminum backing, so it's strong and sturdy, but you cannot back like that. So that's what we use that light for, is it shines down and lets you use the base of your building as advertisement as well. Okay, it looks like I've got the viewers back. I apologize. One thing that he wanted to address is how we work with money. Now it's a little different here because they require that they're using a cash register, and that cash register, it's assigned by the event. They require that. Me personally, and almost all of us that see the viewers back, I apologize again. I've now put my phone on Do Not Disturb, so that won't happen again. But I do not believe I'll be able to receive texts from Lyle. So if you have questions, Lyle, go ahead and answer those directly, and I'll do my best to cover the topic that's remaining. Really, I wanted to show how quickly we just served, just in the moment that we were gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those were made. I don't know how long that felt to you, but it was like a very, very short time, very quick. I'd like it to have another group so you can see how quick we actually serve people. It's awesome. Anyway, so going back to the money, we wanted to show how making change, one thing that Lyle has always done is to hold, in one hand you have 5s on the bottom and you have 1s on top. And then so when somebody hands you a 20, and you buy a $3 shaved ice from them, you can just quickly pull 3 5s off the bottom, the 1s off the top, and make your change. And you'll have that in one hand, and you're just changing that money constantly. Obviously, tips are a good thing. And Callie right now is only taking cash at this event. So if somebody comes up, she directs them to an ATM, which are all around the event. Me personally, I take cards. I have a Square account. There's other companies other merchant accounts that you might already have a relationship with that can give you a device, a dongle that you can stick on your phone and be able to swipe that and use on your own merchant account rather than getting a whole other Square one. If you have any questions on that, we can talk about that stuff further on another one as well. So I think that's pretty much it for now. Maybe I will. You know what? While Lyle may be answering some questions for you, I'm going to take it back off Do Not Disturb, and hopefully nobody will call. And then anything you guys want me to do here and look at, I'm happy to do so. So give me Lyle saying no questions. If you have any, please ask them now. I'm happy to show you anything that we are doing with our stands. A lot of this stuff is regular, but I'll just go ahead and talk about some of these things too. So all of our stands are mobile. We have built-in suspension on them, so you can see it's hard to tell. I'm not able to really tell you by video how well those work, but this is a very, very smooth ride. You're able to take this off if you wanted, or if the event required you to take your wheels off, you can have these wheels off in less than 10 minutes. The tongue as well, so you can take everything that makes it a trailer off and drop that flat on the ground and make that a semi-permanent structure. The flavor station, this size, it's the same size as our small. I guess we would still call it the small flavor station, but this one has 10 flavors as opposed to 6. All of that can fit within your kiosk. So when you're traveling, what we normally do is where Callie is standing, we will put the flavor station up where that counter rounds and store the flavor station here. We'll put the shaver down here on the base, and actually Lyle has a diagram of how we stock this whole building and put 5-gallon jugs underneath. But basically everything that you see here, with exception to your ice, will fit right within that kiosk while you're traveling. So it's very, very nice, and that top collapses In the video that I shot earlier, it shows that top raising. It actually has a hydraulic assist. So when you pull the pin, it will start wanting to lift itself, and then you just assist it the rest of the way up. And going back to new marketing and things that we're doing, so we have menu boards. We now have some borders that you can put on a chalkboard. We're actually going to be selling the chalkboard all together. I'm going to flip this real quick too. Those of you who do own Snowie and you want to market with Snowie items, we now have a third party that's providing all those materials. So as soon as you're in the business, or whether you're already in the business, you can go to what's called divvysystems.com, and it's divvysystems.com. And there you can pick up brochures, you can pick up business cards and punch cards, you can pick up signage, you can pick up menu boards, and all that's being added to constantly. And so I mentioned quite a few new items that we're just barely releasing. We have a whole new line of apparel, which I wanted to be wearing today, but before the event I couldn't make my way to their warehouse. We have new nice hats. Everybody kind of makes fun of me because I didn't like the Snowie hats that we originally had. And now have cool hats, some great clothing, look very, very professional and nice. It's some good stuff, cool stuff. You'll need to be able to have an account, so please speak with me. If you want to be able to go out there and get that new apparel, be able to do so. Other than that, I think we've pretty much shown everything we can about setting up for an event. Oh, I was thinking we had a customer here, but not right now. Again, I may come back to this event, so kind of watch for some tweets and or emails. If I decide to broadcast right in the middle of the heat of things, I'll just do that on a whim, and you all can watch it and see what it's like to be very, very busy. In fact, I will do that. I'm coming back with my family tonight to this same event, so I'll take a moment and broadcast this. And I won't be able to address any questions because I'm doing it from my phone. But you'll be able to see what it's like to be slammed and to really move through a crowd. All right, so are there any additional questions? Lyle, anything? Okay, no questions, so I'm going to bring it to a close. Thank you all for attending.